So, throughout the 4th gen era, there were many well-known and respected battlers and people who were big on the scene, and one of the most prominent of them was a man by the name of TheKillerNacho. Now, I remember discovering this dude back, just when he was starting out. He had 10 videos, and I was stunned at how frequently he uploaded. He literally uploaded every day, every single day, a new 4th gen battle, and I remember stating multiple times I was never bored, because I always had a TheKillerNacho video to watch, and, he had a huge amount of success. He blew up at big time. One of his most famous videos is this Magikarp sweep, which I believe has over 1 million views at this point, and they really skyrocketed him. And he, he didn't really go into 5th gen. He kind of gave up after 4th, but I got in contact with him. I had him on Skype. I thought, you know what a great guy to play for, a closing out match of 4th gen, and that's what we have. We decided to go with the roulette, nothing too serious, and hopefully it will be kind of interesting. So he leads off with a Cradley, which he was kind of infamous for using quite frequently, I believe, and I get my Specs Yanmega lead off, which is Beastbug, who's kind of this alternate, evil hybrid brother of Boostbug, even though it's female, but, you get the idea. Beastbug, Specs, Tinted Lens, and I thought, this was a bit of a rash decision straight up. I was like, oh, yes, Cradley, I get Specs, a super effective Bug Buzz, it's going to do loads of damage. I knew it wasn't going to kill it, and of course he's going to be carrying the Rock Slide because he's a Cradley and it's stab, and it's really the best form of offense that he has to go, and that was not smart, really. I probably should have made a switch into something like, say, Breloom, try to put it to sleep, and gone that route, but instead, waste my Yanmega turn 1. Kind of silly. We'll try and get some ground back here, but I've definitely put him into a revengeable range, so I have my Mamoswine. Bring that in. This thing is Prime Swine. He's choice banded on one of my very first teams, and I definitely can take that thing out with an Earthquake, so I'm going to go for it. Seems like the smart play, but he goes into Typhlosion, and at this point I was like, wow, okay, well, I guess he's a bit rusty. Making a switch to Typhlosion in on a Mamoswine is not something I would usually expect someone to do, but he said he was predicting the Ice move, which to a degree made some sense, but I don't know, I wouldn't really agree with it. So I'm thinking at this point, maybe he's a bit rusty, maybe I can get around him more easily and not predict as much, so that's kind of in the back of my mind, so remember that for later, because that may be a little bit important. So he goes into his Porygon Z, and the only reason he would do this in my mind is because he's Scarfed, he can outspeed me, go for a Tri-Attack and potentially do something horrible, so I predict the Tri-Attack and him being Scarfed, and I go into Shedinja, but he actually pulls off a nasty plot on my switch. Nice play and nice bringing it in there to threaten me, and actually because he's classic Nasty Plot Porygon Z, he's carrying the Dark Pulse, which means he can actually touch my Shedinja, which sucks so much, and I didn't have a good switch into this thing to take any kind of move, so I end up just staying in and Will-O-Wisping, and then the only thing I can do at this point is go for the Protect, because I am going to die, otherwise my Focus Sash has been broken, I have 1 HP, I'm a Shedinja, as you can probably tell, and yeah, there's nothing much for me to do. So I try and double protect just to get a little bit more burn damage. Not that it matters, because I'm going to come in and revenge kill him with something else anyway. But lose out my Shedinja, which I could have used later on very, very usefully. But now I have an opportunity to bring something faster than him, something really threatening and dangerous and potent, and I in fact got an Infernape in this roulette, so that was fortunate. Now here is kind of not the smartest play. I should have definitely gone for Flamethrower here, because Flamethrower with the Life Orb would have taken him out from that range, and would have covered things like this Zapdos, which come and switch in to take my Close Combat. Close Combat was definitely a rash idea there. As you can see, he's very physically defensive. He takes that extremely well. Flamethrower would have done more damage, and it would have been better because he's more physically invested, so his special defense can't take the hit so well, and would have put me in a much better position. But at this point I'm thinking, okay, he's been playing relatively obviously, so he's just going to go for the Thunderbolt. I have the minus special defense from the Close Combat. He's just going to go for the T-Bolt, so I can easily get the switch into Mamoswine, threaten him with the Stone Edge. But no, he actually makes the play of going for Heat Wave, and I was like, oh wow, okay, he's back in the game. He's actually he's getting his prediction game on, which was nice to see, and it made me realize, like, shit, I got to actually try and work my way around this thing now, which is annoying because Zapdos is a pain in the ass to deal with. And my best bet is really to go for Stone Edge, my most powerful Ice move. I'm just running Ice Shard on this guy, so I don't think Stone Edge will quite take it out, but maybe with a crit or something that could help. Leaves him a really narrow amount, and he manages to hit the second Heat Wave, which can't be said a couple of other times I've been facing Zapdoses in these 4th gen matches. Heat Wave has not been my opponent's best friend, but it was Nacho's best friend today, as it took me out, got rid of my Mamoswine, which was a big threat. So now I have to bring in something to adequately deal with the Zapdos, or maybe to, kind of stall it and set something else up. I'm looking through my guys, I'm thinking probably the best idea is to go to Breloom. because I have a Scarf, I can go for the Spore, and then, you know, bring something else in, maybe if he wants to keep his Zapdos to try and, you know, burn sleep turns, that may allow me an opportunity to set up my Houndoom, because I have a Houndoom, and it is a sub-nasty plot set with Salak, so if I sub down, get the Salak boost, be faster than everything, be able to get a nasty plot behind a sub, that's the idea, that's the plan, that's what I'm hoping. So, go into Cerberus, and he makes the switch into Crobat, which kind of sucks. Crobat probably can do horrible things to me, but I think that he's just going to probably go for the U-turn most likely, which I can take definitely, and I can set up a substitute in his face as he goes into something else, and hopefully, depending on what he decides to bring in, you know, Nasty Plot is my friend. I got two fantastic forms of stab in Dark Pulse and Flamethrower, maybe a bit of flinch on my side, that kind of thing, and he ends up switching into PZ, which is fantastic. It allows me to just straight up go for a move and take him out. I'm not going to mess around with Nasty Plot yet because I know I'm faster, I know I have the advantage here, I don't want my sub broken, I want to keep that intact, so I go for the Dark Pulse just to finish him off, and that is going to be, you know, putting me in a nice position. So hopefully, depending on what he brings in next, I should be able to set up a Nasty Plot regardless. Even if he brings in Crobat, goes for the U-turn to break the sub, I still get a guaranteed +2 and will be able to kill something that comes in. So ends up going into the Cradley, which gives me a great opportunity. Now I know he's going to recover, that makes the most sense, and he can probably live a Flamethrower at this point. So I'm going to Nasty Plot as he does that, and this is a bad play on my part. So I decided instead of Flamethrowering to go for the Dark Pulse, hoping to get a flinch so that I can keep my substitute up and therefore have it against the Crobat when that comes back. What I should have done is gone for the Flamethrower, because it would have guaranteed the extra amount of damage, which would have meant that I would have felt safer this turn going for another substitute, thus activating my Salak Berry, and then on the following turn, once the sub was broken, I would have the +1 speed, be able to Flamethrower, and kill him guaranteed. But I was just too iffy with the leftovers gain and that kind of thing. After that, the Weather Flamethrower would take him out, so instead of doing that, instead of subbing, I may have been able to even take him out there at that point after the lefties, but I wasn't sure. And actually, if you notice from before, the Crobat, when it came in, the amount of damage it did with its U-turn was exactly 102 HP. And I didn't pay attention at the time, and I thought the amount he did looked like maybe I could live with a tiny amount, get the Salak boost, but no, he does manage to take my Houndoom out, and that really cost me. It really cost me a huge amount, because having the Salak boosted Houndoom with the +2 was really the key here. It was really the key to me sweeping through and finishing off the rest of his dudes, because all he has left is a Hippo, a Sleeping Zapdos, and that Crobat, and all I have left now is an Infernape and a Scarf Breloom, so it's going to be real tough for me to dig myself out this hole. You know, a bad play with going for the Dark Pulse instead of the Flamethrower. Should have put myself in a better position there, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes rash decisions are made, you don't think forward enough, and that's what happens. But go into Infernape. From past experience, I'm pretty sure Grass Knot can clean OKO, one-hit KO this thing, but it doesn't. Man, it gets so damn close. I know Hippos in 4th gen were just max HP, max defense, no special investment, but he does. Maybe it's that 4 special defense EVs that he would have put in there. Saving grace, able to live it, and goes to kill my Infernape. Now, my last is Breloom. It is Scarfed, and it has Stone Edge, so my idea here is to finish off the Hippowdon with Stone Edge, hit the Crobat, maybe crit it, kill it, hit the Zapdos, finish it off, and win the game, but I missed the Stone Edge, and ladies and gentlemen, because I'm Scarfed, that means I'm locked in on Stone Edge. It means that I have nothing else I can really do at this point apart from go for it and hope for the best, but that's really not going to happen when Hippo can just slack off all the damage, get back up to full HP. And in fact, we had a look at it afterwards, and I actually was talking to like Nagi, I think it was, and discussing that Crobat is in fact 1 point faster than Scarf Breloom. If Crobat is running max speed, it outspeeds Scarf Breloom by a single digit, which means that no matter what, even if I'd been able to kill the Hippowdon with the Stone Edge, he would have been able to bring in his Crobat, go for the Brave Bird, outspeed me, finish off my Breloom and win the game that way. No, it would have made it a little bit closer, a bit more exciting perhaps. You know, it probably wasn't meant to be, and that is going to be it. So, the TheKillerNacho, going out in style, I'll tell you what, able to bring some cool pokes here in the roulette, and hey, managed to get a final game. I really enjoyed doing this. You know, I was going around and asking all these people and trying to get people from the old days, all these old school people, to get these matches done. And I got one with one of the greats, so fantastic. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. A lot more 4th gen to come. It may be unable to be played right now as Wi-Fi is left our shores, but I tell you what, I am going to be pumping out the last few games. So be sure to stay tuned, leave a like if you enjoyed, all that great stuff. Until next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye.